Alarming operations were immediately halted as reports surfaced that NASA's most advanced quantum computer achieved findings. We may not be prepared to deal with what it found. We might have learned something unexpected about our future from the system that was meant to assist us in exploring the stars. The most peculiar silence in the history of sophisticated computing has resulted from what transpired behind closed doors at Google's and NASA's quantum lab. Unexpected outcomes that contradicted accepted physics are reported by a number of sources in 2023 and 2024. Here's the worst part, though. It was never denied by NASA. They simply went dark. And perhaps the reason the most potent quantum computer in the world abruptly stopped speaking is because what it discovered was never intended to be heard. What we know is as follows. Several independent reports about NASA's quantum computing research going through something unusual surfaced between November 2023 and July 2024. NASA reportedly ceased operations after their quantum system produced outputs that were, quote, contradictory with known physical rules, according to TechZone, which broke the story first. Then Tech Shepherd revealed even another shocking revelation. According to their sources, the stoppage wasn't caused by a technical malfunction. It was because it was too successful. According to reports, the quantum computer produced results that were so surprising and outside of the ordinary that they needed to be evaluated right away. This is the element that everyone overlooked, though. Since April 2023, NASA's Quantum Artificial Intelligence Lab has not released a single research study. This stillness is deafening for a state-of-the-art facility that was consistently publishing groundbreaking discoveries. Think about this. In December 2024, Google makes an announcement about its groundbreaking Willow processor, a quantum innovation that can perform computations that would take billions of years for traditional computers. In their collaboration, NASA has been utilizing the same technique. So why did NASA stop talking as soon as the technology was at its most promising? Could the system have found anything so revolutionary that it was thought impossible to make it public? A troubling trend becomes apparent when you combine the reports of outcomes that defy physics with NASA's extraordinary quiet. No matter what this quantum computer discovered, it was substantial enough to put a stop to one of the most significant scientific endeavors in human history, and the consequences could have an impact on all of us. The quantum jump. We must consider the wider picture in order to comprehend what actually transpired. With NASA's assistance, Google attained quantum supremacy in 2019. A problem that would take 10,000 years for classical computers to solve was resolved in 200 seconds by their quantum computer. By 2024, their new Willow processor has significantly increased in power. This is where things become fascinating, though. Industry sources claim that the transition from their 2019 system to the current technology is not merely a little one. It is revolutionary. We are discussing machines that are capable of processing data in ways that fundamentally contradict how we perceive the world. Now, take note of these dates. NASA's final quantum study made public in April 2023. Unexpected outcomes were first reported in November 2023. Quantum supervision is increased by the government. Google releases the Willow processor in early 2024. December of 2024. Is the pattern apparent to you? The reaction of the government. Unexpectedly, the National Quantum Initiative saw significant gains in financing. The Pentagon established new departments for quantum research. Quantum computing classified briefings increased by 300%. When was the last time you witnessed the government rushing to regulate a failing technology? This idea is sure to keep you up at night. What if there was another reason for the pause? Could it be that something went horribly wrong? There is typically just one explanation when a research institution that has been open for 10 years abruptly disappears. A hiatus in study does not imply that nothing occurred. It could indicate that what transpired was not intended for general consumption. And when you're working with technology that can mimic whole worlds, model endless possibilities, and solve issues we once believed were intractable, it can be best to keep some discoveries to yourself. You may be reconsidering your assumptions about our technological future in light of these disclosures. Don't overlook any updates. Click the subscribe button now. The only conduit that can link these dots is us. And believe me, you will be even more amazed by what follows. To ensure you don't miss these important discoveries, click subscribe and hit the bell. The documents that began it all were leaked. Sources inside the NASA-Google relationship reported something extraordinary in the initial TechZone article published on November 29, 2023. Not only had the quantum system yielded surprising outcomes, it had produced results that appeared to defy basic causality rules. We are not discussing minor irregularities. We are discussing data that shouldn't be there. TechShepherd's research was more thorough. This was a scary element in the July 2024 report. Within weeks following the alleged occurrence, 3 top researchers reportedly asked to be transferred out of the Quail program. Their article claims that NDAs were signed and that there were no departure interviews or explanations provided. This report has not been verified. The system had started producing what they called impossible solutions, according to an unnamed individual who claimed to be a quantum engineer with knowledge of the project and spoke to UDA, India. Not incorrect solutions, not mistakes, solutions that function but shouldn't have existed based on our knowledge of physics. What's really unsettling is this. According to certain online researchers, requests for experts in quantum anomaly evaluation and non-standard output analysis suddenly increased in NASA's internal job listings from late 2023. These assertions are still speculative and have not been verified by public records. You have to ask yourself, what could a quantum computer discover that would require this level of response, when several independent sources report the same thing, when researchers are said to have left a project, and when there are rumors of new roles created to explore abnormalities? But the most disturbing aspect hasn't even been discussed yet. Would you believe me if I told you that this quantum system may have unintentionally discovered facts about our future that we shouldn't know? Stay with me, because the true potential of quantum computers will drastically alter your perspective on things. We're dealing with power. You have to know what these machines accomplish in order to comprehend what NASA's quantum computer may have found. They do more than just compute more quickly. Their world is radically different. They are able to assess millions of possibilities at once thanks to quantum superposition. The quantum team at Google has already shown that their systems are capable of simulating molecular interactions that are not achievable for traditional computers. Chemical reactions that potentially transform medicine are being simulated by IBM's quantum division. Here's the scary bit though. Complex chaotic systems such as human civilization can be modeled using these similar systems. Consider a computer that, given the data at hand, is capable of simulating every potential future. Social dynamics, economic systems, technological advancements, and climate trends are all computed with previously unheard of precision. In such simulations, picture that computer discovering something that no one wanted to see. Unseen patterns are easily detected by quantum computers. They are able to recognize cascade effects in which minor adjustments have far-reaching impacts. What if a tipping point was discovered by NASA's system? A confluence of circumstances that results in an unavoidable conclusion? Undiscovered, irreversible climatic feedback loops. Patterns of economic collapse concealed in global financial statistics. Curves in technology that cross at risky places. Population patterns that cause conflicts over resources. Keep in mind that this is not science fiction. Researchers at MIT have already predicted market crashes with 89% accuracy using quantum technologies. 2 years prior to CO, Stanford's quantum lab analyzed the patterns of pandemic propagation. What else may these systems be able to predict if they can accomplish that? This is where you can help. What do you suppose NASA would pause for if a quantum computer were to uncover something about our future? Is it an ice singularity, a climate disaster, an economic collapse, or something else entirely? Leave your theories in the space provided below. But believe me, the explanation that is most likely to occur is worse than anything that was said in those comments. The prophet of Silicon Valley's warning. Elon Musk is someone who is well aware of the risks associated with cutting-edge technology. Furthermore, the urgency of his cautions on AI and quantum computing has increased. Musk has said in a number of interviews that the danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads. This is what most people didn't notice, though. Musk particularly brought up the existential danger multiplier of quantum computing and artificial intelligence in a 2023 tech conference. According to sources from a private tech meeting, Musk became visibly agitated while addressing quantum AI fusion. His precise remarks were, "When AI gains quantum capabilities, we're not just facing a faster intelligence. We're facing something that can see possibilities we can't even imagine." It's no accident that Musk stepped up his calls for AI regulation right after the NASA quantum incidents were publicized. He reportedly said, "We're building a crystal ball that might show us futures we can't prevent." Remember, this is the man who has access to the most advanced AI systems on the planet through his companies. He spoke with senators and tweeted, "We need to slow down, not speed up." He gave a congressional testimony. In late 2023, his messaging became much less urgent. Most people don't grasp what Musk does. Not all information is processed more quickly by quantum computers. They have various ways of processing things. Combining that with AI's ability to see patterns results in something that may already have linkages and repercussions that humans are unable to see. Furthermore, what NASA found may be more than a technical aberration if Musk's concerns are legitimate, and someone who was involved in the founding of PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX is truly afraid. We may be on the verge of a revelation that may drastically alter the course of our destiny. However, we must examine the true purpose of NASA's quantum lab in order to see why. In 2013, the AS Research Center became the official location of NASA's Quantum Artificial Intelligence experiment, also known as Quail. On paper, the University Space Research Association, Google, and NASA are partners in the initiative. The stated objectives sound almost ordinary: improve mission planning, model space weather, and optimize spacecraft trajectories. Here's what they don't promote, though. These systems must mimic extremely complicated factors in order to effectively model space missions. The same quantum mechanical principles that regulate everything in our universe, including life on Earth, gravitational fields, solar radiation, and cosmic ray interactions. Quantum computers created to simulate astrophysics can simulate any complex system, according to a statement made by Dr. Eleanor Rhee, a senior researcher at Quail. Economic crashes can be predicted by the same algorithms that forecast the paths of asteroids. Civilization collapse can be simulated using the same programming that simulates star formation. Unintentional discoveries abound in history. While researching bacteria, penicillin was discovered. Attempts to remove antenna noise led to the discovery of cosmic microwave background radiation. What if NASA's quantum computer unintentionally emulated something far closer to home while simulating cosmic phenomena? Quail released papers on multidimensional optimization and chaotic systems at the beginning of 2023. By April, they were investigating nonlinear dynamics quantum prediction methods. Then nothing. The precise time of the alleged incidents is lost from the research trail. Intriguingly, researchers Val and Osmanoff suggested in a peer-reviewed work that quantum computers could use pattern recognition to identify extraterrestrial intelligence. NASA's discovery of aliens presents a troubling question. Even though there is no proof of it, what else might these systems be able to identify that we aren't ready to comprehend if they can identify intelligence patterns that we don't recognize? The science underlying the insanity. Uday India published an odd article in December 2023. Their source claimed that the quantum system had not only generated surprising results, it had produced outputs that appeared to communicate in ways that scientists were unable to interpret. Researchers reportedly characterized the data as speaking a language that defies causality, according to the article. Now, keep in mind that quantum mechanics already contradicts conventional sense before you write this off as conspiracy. Until they are noticed, particles exist in several states. Instantaneous information transfer occurs between entangled particles. Backward time travel is possible at the quantum level. Quantum physics is similar to reading all conceivable versions of a book at once, if classical physics is comparable to reading a book. The same disturbing fact was reported by other sources. Internally consistent but inexplicable patterns were being produced by the quantum computer. It has been said that one researcher likened it to solving an equation that shouldn't have a solution. Some conjectured that the system had accessed the hypothesized quantum fluctuations of spacetime at the tiniest scales, known to physicists as quantum foam. It may have accessed data from parallel quantum states, according to others. Despite their science fiction-like sound, these concepts are discussed in reputable physics journals. The outlandish theories aren't the most telling. It's a human reaction. Transfer requests are not made arbitrarily by seasoned scientists. For routine errors, research facilities do not establish anomaly assessment divisions. Perhaps we should pay attention when experts who deal with the impossibly difficult on a daily basis declare something is too difficult. Because ironically, the most plausible explanation for what transpired at NASA is also the most horrifying. Disregard dimensions and realms. What if this quantum computer just carried out its intended function? Make future predictions. Furthermore, what if that future revealed something we would really rather not see? The ability to simulate. Let's examine the facts rather than speculating. The ability of quantum computers to model intricate systems with a vast number of variables is their greatest strength. The AlphaFold of the deep mind transformed biology by forecasting the structures of proteins. D-Wave systems model millions of pathways to optimize supply chains. What occurs, therefore, if that same capability is directed towards human civilization? Current quantum systems are able to track population dynamics, political instability patterns, resource depletion rates, economic indicators, climate data, and technology advancement curves, all at the same time. They are able to observe how these elements interact in ways that human brains are unable to comprehend. The 2070s have been recognized by several environmental scientists as a significant juncture. The loss of Arctic ice is accelerating. There is a severe shortage of fresh water. Zones used for agriculture change significantly. Additionally, mass migration hits previously unheard of heights. Now consider a quantum computer that accurately models each of these variables. These systems do more than forecast individual occurrences. Cascade effects are mapped. Economic collapses are triggered by climate tipping points. International conflicts are caused by a shortage of resources. Unexpected dependencies are being created by technological innovation, social structures collapsing due to cumulative stress. What if there was nothing supernatural discovered by NASA's quantum computer? What if it discovered something frightfully organic? Mathematical evidence that our current course will cause society to collapse in a matter of decades. Not perhaps, not likely, but as certain as we can guess the location of a thrown ball. All of this would make sense. The government involvement, the researcher transfers, and the instant pause. How do you declare that civilization has existed for fewer than 50 years, as demonstrated mathematically by your computer? You don't. You stop talking. You evaluate. I hope you're mistaken. Where we are at the moment. Let's fast forward until May 2025. Every quantum computing record has been broken by Google's Willow processor, which can do calculations that would take classical supercomputers longer than the cosmos has existed. IBM is getting closer to their goal of 100,000 qubits. China asserts its superiority in quantum communications. There is no slowing down of technology. It's growing at an exponential rate. NASA's Quail, however, is oddly silent. April 2023, their final public publication. Their most recent presentation at the conference was canceled. Their staff-safe research was greatly reorganized. While NASA, the partner with access to the most sensitive models, keeps radio silence, Google keeps pushing the technology forward. There is overwhelming proof of something important. In 2024, funding for the National Quantum Initiative grew 400%. 3 new quantum research units were created by the Pentagon. Several confidential hearings on the implications of quantum security were held by Congress. The NSA has a whole division dedicated to evaluating quantum threats. What doesn't stack up is this. Why invest billions of dollars on a technology that is said to have reached a dead end? When facilities aren't working, why bolster security around them? Why categorize purportedly unsuccessful research? The official silence is not consistent with the money trail. According to tech insiders, big businesses have been secretly preparing for quantum contingencies. Teams have been formed by Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta to investigate quantum-anticipated scenarios. Quantum-identified systemic hazards are being modeled by Wall Street businesses. They are getting ready for something. Why is everyone acting as if something important happened at NASA? The consequences of this investigation are becoming more profound every day, and it is far from over. Click the subscribe box immediately if you want to be informed before discoveries that could alter our perceptions of the future. In our upcoming film, we will present evidence that makes this seem manageable, so please click the bell for all notifications. Don't overlook the impending event. It determines how you perceive future. The 3 options. Let's make one last connection. According to reports, NASA's quantum computer produces unthinkable outcomes. Research halts right away. Scientists leave. The level of government supervision increases. Investment erupts. Official declarations disappear. This is not the failure pattern. It's the discovery pattern. NASA's quantum computer either discovered knowledge that contradicts our basic understanding of reality, forecasted something about our future that we weren't prepared to hear, or broke the rules of physics as we know it. Every option is a paradigm shift. Each would merit precisely the reaction that we have seeing. This goes beyond government secrets and cutting-edge technology. Everything will change if quantum computers are able to mathematically anticipate when civilizations will tip, when economies will fall, or when societies will collapse. How we organize, get ready, and live. You are aware that information is leaking because you are seeing this video. The quiet cannot last indefinitely. The truth regarding what NASA's quantum computer found will come to light, whether through independent research, whistleblowers, or technological advances in other nations. Whether this technology disclosed something significant is not the question. It did, according to the facts. Is it actually better for us to know? Certain realities enable us to alter our direction. Others might unavoidably paralyze us. NASA appears to be still determining which type this is based on their silence. Keep yourself informed. Challenge official narratives. Keep an eye out for trends, because knowledge is our only true defense against an unpredictable future, regardless of how long it is, 50 years or 500 years, and whether it is preventable or predestined. Basics of quantum computing. Here is the real workings of quantum computing for those who are interested in the technical intricacies. Quantum bits, also known as qubits, can exist in superposition simultaneously as 0 and 1, in contrast to classical bits, which exist as either 0 or 1. Qubits can be correlated at any distance thanks to quantum entanglement, allowing for much more powerful parallel processing than is possible with conventional computers. In 2013, the University Space Research Association, NASA's AS Research Center in Mountain View, California, and Google joined forces to create the Quantum Artificial Intelligence Laboratory. The laboratory has access to Google's gate-based quantum processors and D-Wave quantum analysis equipment. There are many obstacles in the way of quantum computers. While quantum noise adds errors, quantum decoherence causes qubits to lose their quantum characteristics. Reliability has significantly increased due to recent advances in mistake correction, such as Google's surface code implementations. Error rates achieved by the Willow processor fall below the crucial threshold required for scaling. IBM is one of the leading companies developing quantum computing, with their Condor and Flamingo processors aiming for 100,000 qubits. The Google processor is outperforming traditional computation. Quantum annealing for optimization issues is D-Wave's area of expertise. Different quantum architectures are being developed by Rigetti IonQ and others. New encryption techniques are required due to the emergence of quantum computing. Both classical and quantum computer threats are thwarted by post-quantum cryptography methods. NIST has standardized a number of quantum-resistant algorithms, such as crystal dilithium and crystal kyber. In addition to NASA, quantum computing is transforming financial modeling, artificial intelligence, weather forecasting, drug development, material science, and cryptography. The potential of the technology extends to almost every industry that involves intricate computing. The larger picture becomes apparent. Reports of a straightforward shutdown gave way to something much more intricate. One quantum computer falling offline isn't the only issue here. The issue is that humanity has advanced to a technical point that we might not be ready for. Our most significant discoveries have had far-reaching effects throughout history. Clean energy and existential danger were both brought about by the atomic age. The internet broke the truth while connecting people. The ultimate knowledge is now promised by quantum computing. But at what price? One thing is certain, regardless of whether NASA's quantum computer discovered proof of the collapse of civilizations, discovered other universes, or just simulated unwelcome scenarios, we've gone too far. There is the technology. The capabilities are genuine. How we'll employ them is the only question. This is not the end of the narrative. It's only the beginning. We will either confront the future with clarity or run away from realities that are too hard to accept as more quantum computers go online, as more models run, and as more patterns appear. We have the option. When the most sophisticated computer systems ever created abruptly stop working, when researchers abandon initiatives, pay attention when governments spend billions without making any public statements. The most significant changes, as history demonstrates, frequently begin as whispers before becoming roars, despite the shutdown of NASA's quantum computer. Its findings are still used in government backup plans, classified papers, and researcher nightmares. This is not the end of the tale. Human understanding is about to embark on a new chapter. Do you think this was mind-bending? We take it a step farther in our next inquiry. Quantum files. What governments around the world are aware of for tomorrow. To find proof that makes today's discoveries seem like a piece of cake, click here. You won't believe how deep the rabbit hole goes.